Well, welcome back to my studio. I am working on a pair of cardinals, checking out a little birdhouse today. They're house hunting. So I'm the male cardinal here. I have my reference material to the right of my painting. I've just taped it to my easel so that I have it right there. And I'm going to start working on him. The perspective of the birdhouse looks a little bit odd because the camera's in an angle. I have to do that so that I can show you how I paint. If I have the painting directly behind me so that the canvas is straight, you won't be able to see it. So let's get started. I'm using a mixture here of cadmium red medium plus alizarin crimson. This is going to be my darker red. Just, he's in shadow. The sun's coming from the upper right. So it'll be hitting his chest here. So this is a little lighter. This is cadmium red medium. His face there. Yeah, he's going to be darker up here. You can see this bright brush. I can use the flat part to cover a larger area, but then I can always use that corner to come up and work around the detail. I'm going to move to a little bit smaller brush to get into these smaller areas. This is again my cadmium red medium. And my background is wet, so I can pull his little feathers from his little crown there. Well, I say it's wet. It was yesterday. I just painted that yesterday. This is on a panel called a cradled panel. It's made by Ampersand, and it's a canvas textured wood panel that's cradled. It has 1.5 inch sides, you can see there. And so the paint dries actually a little quicker on it than it does on the regular canvas. Now this is a filbert brush. This has an oval tip, and I use these occasionally. Mainly I use the bright brush with that square end. And there's a bright and there's a flat. And the flat also has a square end, but the bristles are longer, and for me they're just hard to control. So I like the bright. The bristles are just a little bit shorter. Now I have saved my background color, so I can come in and, that's too light. I can come in and work around that. That's the right one. I have several mixes there, but I can just feather those feathers into the background. Actually, they'd be a little bit longer. But you can see how that just makes a nice, soft transition there. It gives the feeling of those feathers. Now I'm coming back here with cadmium red light plus just a tiny bit of white into it, just to add a little highlight onto his head here. Bring that part of his head forward and let the light come down. It's his chest here a little bit, and then just a touch will come over his shoulder, the top of those feathers. Now he's got black on his face. Let's do his beak first, and then I can do the black. His beak is mixtures of my cadmium orange plus a tiny bit of alizarin crimson. And I mix my cadmium orange. I mix 2 parts of cadmium yellow medium and 1 part of cadmium red light. And that makes my cadmium orange. It's hard to, a lot of times the art stores like Dick Blick or Jerry's Artorama, Cheap Joe's, they're out of the cadmium red, or the cadmium orange. They have what they call cadmium orange hue. I don't recommend getting that. It just, when you mix with it, it turns pink. I don't really like it. So I mix my own cadmium orange. And that beak is, now again, I've saved my background color so I can come and work back around that beak where it's used to be just a tiny bit longer. It's just a matter of pushing and pulling. He's got a little bit of dark right on the end of his beak. And he's looking over at Mama saying, Mama, what do you think? What you think, babe? What you think, honey? Do you like this house? This would be a good place to raise a family. I love cardinals. I have a feeder outside my kitchen window, and I have a pair that comes and I just stop everything and just watch them. And they're special. They say cardinals appear when angels are near. I like that. I believe that. I think when those cardinals come, that's God telling me that he and Angel Jack are thinking about me. So that's just my take on it. Yes, they're special. Cardinals were always Jack's favorite. Okay, so we got Mr. Cardinal done here. Now I'm going to take a little white and add into that orange just a little bit, make a little highlight right on the top of his beak. There we go, that rounds it out. Now we're going to do the black here on his markings. Oh, these feathers must be absolutely tiny. Goes up around his eye, and down on his neck. And this is just pure ivory black. This needs to come out a little bit more. His eye. And his beak actually comes more into his, this comes here. This upper one comes back just a little bit more. And this comes back. Just a little. There we go. Just a little touch. Now I've done the back green. It's a background is a green, blue-green, made of phthalo blue plus cadmium orange plus white, and then just a tiny touch of cadmium yellow medium put in. I wanted the background, those greens, because that accentuates the red. They're complementary colors. They're across, that means they're across from each other on the color wheel. And so that green, those, when you put complementary colors next to each other, they make it appear brighter. So the green, the red against the green makes the red appear even brighter. Now I'm mixing some browns for his wing. And this is my mud, which is 2 parts of ultramarine blue plus 1 part of alizarin crimson. And I've mixed cadmium orange into that. That makes a nice rich brown. Now I'm working, it's too interruptive to stop and answer the phone. You know, this is my job. My friends all know that if they call, just leave a message, I'll get back to them. So when I take a break, then I answer phone calls, I answer emails. If you stop every 5 minutes to check your emails or answer the phone, you'll never get any work done. And that's not good when you're trying to make a living. So, bring a little more of that brown in here. There's a little red into that, so I just pull a little bit of this red back into that. This chest gets a little more highlight here. Again, I have my reference material right to the right of my easel. In fact, this even shows this comes down here. So there is Mr. Chippers. I really appreciate you watching my YouTube videos. Please visit my blog. Now, in my blog, I show the step-by-step process of the entire painting. I know a lot of you have emailed me from my YouTube making a comment saying, well, I want to see the rest of this painting. But if you'll go down into the description below the video, there will be a link to the blog on this painting, and so you can see the full step-by-step process. Anyway, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also subscribe to my blog, and please feel free to share them with your friends on Facebook or whatever social media you use. And you just have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you again.